AITAH for turning down a man because of his gold digger test? I went on a date with a guy, who I met through a dating app. The date started out good. We had a great time until I asked him what he does for work. He said he is a tradesman and I asked what kind of. He seemed to hesitate for half a second then said carpenter. I started asking him questions, like what kind of carpentry he does, furniture, structural, roofing, etc. Carpentry is such an interesting topic so I was genuinely curious, but he fumbled and kind of tried to change the topic, which I was not having. He ended up admitting that he is not a carpenter, he just wanted to test me. He apparently makes a lot of money and wants women to like him because of his personality and not for his money, so he has to be cautious and made up a low-paying job as a test. I told him his personality is dishonest and he failed my test of being a decent person. When I was complaining to one of my friends, she said that I overreacted a bit and at least should have asked about his past experiences, because he has probably been burned before and I have no idea what it's like to be a high-earning man, but I kind of do have an idea, as I work with a lot of well-paid men and none of them do outrageous bullshit like this.
Now, let's move on to the second story. Story 3. My ex looks absolutely horrible a year after breaking up. I was with my ex for 4.5 years. During this time, he would make jokes about my appearance anytime he could. At first, I played it off as harmless flirting, but as time went on, I realized how infrequently he complimented me. This took an immense toll on my self-esteem. He callously dumped me via letter last year. Since then, I've made friends with new neighbors, started swimming, got a promotion at work, got accepted into grad school, and had plastic surgery to fix an injury I sustained in high school. I genuinely feel better than I ever have in my entire life, both mentally and physically. I ran into my ex at our local hardware store last week. Holy cow. Ironically, the first words out of his mouth were, "You look great," something he rarely, if ever, said while we were together. He, on the other hand, has easily gained 30 pounds and looks 10 years older. He's apparently on probation at work. I'll never know the real story, but he says it's due to favoritism. Anyways, I'd never wish difficulties on anyone, but it's definitely interesting how the scripts have flipped. During our time together, everything was always on his terms. In his eyes, he never did anything wrong. Hell would freeze over before he would ever apologize for anything. Now here we are. I'm living my best life, and he looks and sounds like he's been living under a bridge. Wishing him well, though, but without some deep soul searching, things are just going to keep getting worse for him.